Tonight, we are going to talk about our favorite topic and the topic that seems to get most people going. And this is the topic of hormones. And so we are inside the house. We're just chilling. She is caught up on a new medical show called Lennox Hill. So we were watching that and chilling before this, and she just started to look up. We had a patient that just started with us and male. And so, as this gentleman started with us, he is a younger male, and we did his Dutch Plus. We've done the omics, we've done the GI map, and his estrogens came back extremely high. And we've now seen this in what, two recent, two recent young males. And the problems that we saw are high estrogens. And so the medical doctors are telling these gentlemen that high estrogens aren't anything to be worried about. And Jessica just did a real quick Google search on Scholar about estrogen, high estrogen in men, and what did you find?
Well, before we say that, they told them that it was normal.
Well, yes, you talked to him. I did not. So,
and there's nothing normal about estrogens off the chart for a male. Well, there's not anything normal about estrogens being off the chart for females, but especially males, especially with having a low testosterone or a lower testosterone level. And so I was like, that doesn't even make any sense. And why would that ever be an okay comment? But anyway, I do realize that there's a lot of males out there that don't care if they work or not. However, if I was a male, I would think I would want to work. So, erectile dysfunction. These are just things that can be caused because of testosterone being aromatase into your estrogens. So, erectile dysfunction, weight gain, decrease in your libido or your sex drive, however you want to say that. Enlargement of the breast tissue, so gynecomastia.
And we've had a patient who actually had a
reduction
mm-hmm.
Because no one ever thought to check his hormones, but they did a breast reduction. Enlargement of the breast tissue, which is gynecomastia, depression, anxiety, loss of energy, feeling tired, decrease in your muscle mass. So they also call this aromatase excess syndrome. It's actually what they call it. It's an actual condition when you have elevated female sex hormone, which is your estrogen, and you do have 3 different types of estrogen, 1, 2, and 3. And for this gentleman, each one of those were off the chart. So there was nothing normal about that at all. Anyway, let me just tell you, there's all kinds of other symptoms. Mood swings.
Fatigue.
I think I already said that one.
So for males, while she's looking up some of those extra symptoms, so for males, it's more than just testosterone. And we want to, as a society, we want to boil everything down to one thing. And you just cannot do that. I mean, you can, but you're going to be on testosterone the rest of your life. And I'm not saying that you're going to be able to get off of it. I am saying that you can decrease the dose. I have seen people get off of the things, off of testosterone and things. And so I'm not saying that depends on how much damage you've done to yourself. But there's more than testosterone to worry about.
Well, yeah. So this does affect your fertility. It causes reduced sperm counts and sperm motility, makes it very hard to conceive. Causes fluid retention, especially with estrogen dominance. When you have more estrogen than you do testosterone, it's common for your feet and your hands to swell. Let's see. I think that's basically it. We've hit most of that. But you start decreasing your muscle mass. You become more female-like.
Well, yeah, you're in. And could that be an issue that we have today across the board? Absolutely.
Well, and I've said this 1,000 times, and I'm going to say it right here. This person is in their 20s. They are athletic, professional level athlete, looks male. There's nothing about him that looks female, but he knows he doesn't feel right. And kudos to him for looking
Deeper.
Deeper. However, I look at people across the board, and there's lots of people that are male that want to be female and female that want to be male. And I have said this for years. I wonder what their hormones look like. And does their brains really know who they are?
Good question. That's
and
above our pay grade.
Yeah, it is. I'm so fascinated with it. I wish somebody would pick that up and do a study on it. Or at the very least, when people go to their psychologists or their medical doctors or whoever these people go to, I really wish that the at the very minimum, they would look at their hormones and at least optimize them for their biological sex and see if that makes a difference for some of them, because for a lot of them they're okay with that, and then there's others that really struggle with not feeling like they fit into their biological gender. And so I'm so curious if there's a imbalance in their hormones that is causing them this grief, because we don't see this in other countries.
No.
We travel a lot, and we never see this in other countries. And I just wish that that was like a first line test.
So getting back on track. If you don't, Dr. Hyman calls it just feels like crap syndrome. If you don't feel right, if you are tired, if your joints hurt, this is the first thing that we look at. And not only is this the first thing we look at, but it's also some of the easiest things to start to deal with, because right off the bat, what's the number one thing to get rid of hormones, to get rid of excess estrogens?
Well, funny thing is, I love it. I crave them, but cruciferous vegetables,
Fiber,
cauliflower, your broccoli, your cabbage, your Brussels sprouts, your turnip greens, and they all have, and I say it wrong every time, so I'll let you say it,
glucosinolates.
And that promotes the estrogen detoxification through the liver, because estrogens will accumulate in your liver and congest it.
And so then you also need the fiber to bind it and pull it out. Now, if you have other issues with that, then yeah, there are things that we can do. But right off the bat, start eating more fiber and get it in good forms. So like she just said, your cruciferous vegetables and your green vegetables, your glucosinolates, your you can also sprouts,
flaxseed, green tea, berries. And if your testosterone is too high, you can get that out of your system by blocking it with spearmint.
And so it's really easy, for us to start to look at this, to start treatment plans.
So before we go on to that, before you go on to that point, we talked about aromatase.
Mm-hmm.
And you aromatase your testosterone to your estrogens when you are under stress. A lot of it is related to stress. So before he goes to that subject, figure out what it is that's stressing you, whether it's emotional, physical. It could be real, not real. Your body doesn't care. If the wolf is chasing it, the wolf is chasing it. It's going to react the same. So you got to eliminate or diminish the stress in hopes of stopping that aromatase.
And so it's to start with, start eating real foods, getting a lot more fiber in, and make sure you're going to the bathroom at least once a day, but preferably twice. And if you're doing those things and your estrogens still stay high, then yes, that's when you start to look for people like us. You go to the IFM's website, you go and check those things out. I just had a fleeting thought about um, when you're looking at your hormones. Sometimes you need to supplement the hormones to get you back up to a level so that the body can start to work right again, so that you feel good. But the hormones have to be addressed. But it's not the only thing, because if you don't have the bacteria in your gut, and the gentleman that we just tested is all over the place, if you don't have those bacteria in the gut, problem is you're not going to make the short chain fatty acids, you're not going to make the hormones, you're not going to make the neurotransmitters. It's all encompassing. So if you're interested, check out our testimonial page. We just put up a couple of new testimonials, and I'll have another hormonal testimonial going up. We have and our Brains magazine articles are starting to drop. So follow us on Facebook, and you can start to read our Brains articles. The first two are, who's Dr. Miller, because a lot of people don't know me, and a lot of people don't know the clinic. And then the second one is what is the what are the failings of functional medicine, and the failings that we see, which has made us work together. And Jessica has, seen the weak link in my armor, which is I don't like to deal with the hormones. She loves it, and she does a very good job with it.
Well, and just know your hormones are volatile, and that is normal. We could look at your blood 15 different times throughout the day, and if you mapped them all out, they would be volatile. And that is intentional. That is the way your body is supposed to work. So just know that in any given lab is just a minute in time, and give it a little longer and it'll change again. So hormones,
Libby says hi,
need to be balanced within reason. And just don't regardless of your age, don't accept the cop out. You're just getting to that point in life. You're getting up there in age. Like,
how many things can we think of? Your blood works normal. This is just your age.
Yeah. If you feel like if your blood works if they're saying it's normal and you still don't feel right, you better than anybody. You've known you your whole life. So just look a little deeper. It can be complicated. Hormones are very complicated. If there's not a one size one patch fits all, they are as individual as each person. We I wish I could say, oh, do this, this, and this, and you're going to be perfect. It doesn't work like that.
Oh no.
We give you kind of a roadmap, and you get to tweak it. Like, yourself better than anybody, but just you should be living. I say it all the time. You should be living your best life always. Just always strive to be better. Just look a little deeper, and if you don't like the answer you get from your physician, add somebody else to your team.
Yep.
If it's not us, add somebody else. Like, just get a second pair of eyes. It's very validating. At least that your insides don't feel right, and you knew it, and so it's validating to that where and then you have something to work on. But just don't accept the cop out that this is just that time in your life.
The bully dog is back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, we'll see you next week. Have a great time. Brutus.